Hello everyone, welcome to Coding Cafe Java. In this YouTube channel, you will be learning how to code Java programs in simple and easy manner and be a perfect programmer and master in coding. Yes, if you are new to this channel, kindly like, follow and subscribe to this channel. Please don't forget to press the bell button. Yes, let's start today's session Coding Cafe Java. So the first question here I have taken from 2024 specimen paper of icse board class 10. So the question states like this: define a class to accept a 3-digit number and check whether it is a duck number or not. Now you will be thinking, what's a duck number? In the question itself, they have given a number is a duck number if it has 0 in it. So in the question, if you analyze properly, when I can say it's a duck number, it should have a 3-digit number and 10 in it. If I consider the first example, the input is 2083, but I'm getting the output as invalid. Why? Because the input I have given is 4-digit number. According to the logic which is given in the question, a number is considered as a duck number if it has only 3 digits in it. The first example, if you consider, it is wrong because it it of course it has a 0 in it, but the number is 4 digits. 2083, there are 4 digits. But my example 2, it's a valid duck number because the first condition, 3-digit number, yes, 103, 3 digits are there, and a 0 is present in that number. So I can say, yes, it is a duck number. So now let's start with the solution part. First, let us have an overlook how the Java program is written for this particular logic. If you see, I have used a scanner, I've called a scanner package, util package, and also a main method, and I've involved a while loop, if loop, again a while loop to check the 3-digit number and a 0 is present, and finally I'm going to print whether it's a duck number or not a duck number, or whether it's an invalid number. We'll go to the logic part next later. So if I execute this program in a BlueJS software, how the output is going to be visible? Let's have a look on that. If you consider this example, I have entered a 4-digit number, so it was invalid. But the second time when I executed, I have given a 3-digit number and it has a 0 in it, so the output I'm getting as duck number. Yes, so we are going to code for this and decide whether the number entered by the user will be a duck number or not a duck number. Yes, let's start our logic. First statement I have written as import java.util.scanner. So what is this import? Import is a keyword. Keyword which will be having a special meaning in a program and it is used for a particular task. So import keyword, if I write, then I can start adding the package. So Java is a programming language, so I have used the keyword as Java. Util is a package name. Scanner is a class from JCL. Here JCL stands for Java Class Library. Now whenever I start my program, always the first statement will be importing a package to execute the program. So I think it is clear. So now the next statement, if I take, I have written public class duck number. So here the class begins. And one more tip, like for example, if you're not specifying any class in the package, instead of writing java.util.scanner, you can easily write java.util.star, where the star is going to call for all the package. In this program only I do require scanner class, so I have written util.scanner. But if you are not sure whether you are going to use only the scanner class or in some programs we do use the math class, the other classes which are already there in the JCL. That time you can use java.util.star. Now coming to the next statement, public class, and the class name is duck number. Since I've see, the class name can be anything. You can give any class name of your own choice, but always make sure that you give a class name which depicts the logic. Now I'm writing a program for the duck number, so I've taken the logic as duck number. Yes, so public is an access specifier. So access specifier I'm going to discuss in the next upcoming videos when I take up the concept visibility modifiers. So in short, I can say now it is public so that any other class can access this class since it is public. If it is private, the other class will not able to access this duck number class. Class is a keyword. I am defining it and I am writing the class name as duck number. Again, I repeat, class name can be anything of your choice, but make sure that you follow the rules of naming a class, that is the rules of an identifier. So identifier name, if you do consider with this, your identifier name or the class name should not begin with digits. You can have digits in the middle part or anywhere, not with. So I cannot start with like 1, 2, 3 duck number. Not like that. You can start with any alphabets, anything, but don't start with digit. Now the class name I have defined. Next I am going to move with the main method. Soon after the class, I am opening the braces. You should use the flower braces to tell that the control has moved to the main method or you have moved to the class. For the class or the main method, I'll always open the flower braces. So now, if you see again, public I have used, it's an access specifier. Static I have used, it's a keyword. So again, the static keyword, what it tells? It tells you that in order to execute the main method, you no need to create any object. Usually the rule is you have to create the object and then execute any method. Since main method is a system defined, you no need to create any new object to execute this. And void tells that this method will not have any return statements. String argument, yes. So string is a system class, argument, yes. So we are going to take the input from the system. The input will be a string, a sequence of characters. So I am writing the string class over there. Now first method is you are going to construct an object for your scanner package. So what is the scanner package? For that I have to start with an object. So scanner, first I will write the class name followed by in object and then new is a keyword and then scanner system.in. So now system.in is nothing but from the system console with the help of in object I am going to take the input from the user. Let's start with the first statement system.out.print. So what it tells that I am going to take the input from the system console, that is while executing the user is going to give the input. So it may be a number. So I'm asking the user to enter a number. Whatever the number is entered by the user, that I'm going to store in the variable num. So num is an integer data type. Since I'm using scanner package and the in object of the scanner package, I'm going to map the object in with the dot operator and I'm calling the nextInt function. So nextInt function, what it does? It is going to store the value given by the user and store it in the variable num. And in the next statement, I have declared one more variable n and I am storing the num, that is the num variable, whatever the user is entering, that I am going to store in the n variable. Why? Because in order to use in the while loop. If you don't want to use this num only, you can write inside the while loop, that's fine. So now again one more variable I have taken, that is count, and I am equating that to 0. Initially this counterpoint variable will not have anything, any value. Since it is an integer data type, I will assign it to 0. It's a default value of an integer variable. Now the question comes here. Why I am using this count variable? This count variable is required because in the logic we have clearly told a duck number should have only 3 digits. So I will check whether the number given by the user is only a 3-digit number or not. So in the first while block is kept only to check whether it is a 3-digit or not. That's it. Once it is a 3-digit, then I will go and check whether it consists of 0 or not. So the first logic lies here. Check the number given by the user whether it's a 3-digit. If it's not a 3-digit, then no need to check whether it consists of 0 or not. Directly you can go and print it is a invalid. Yes. So now let us start. So n value. What is the n value here? N value, let me take 103. Now I am considering the n value as 103. Why I am taking this? Because the duck number should have only 3-digit number. So let me make sure that this 103 is not equal to 0. Yes, when you check 103, it is not equal to 0. So I'll get entry to the while loop. As soon as I get entry to the while loop, the first statement I have count. So I have to increment the count. The initial value of count was 0. So when I incremented, so 0 plus 1, it becomes 1. What it tells? It tells that one digit is present in the given number. So next what I'll do? I'm going to divide the number by 10. So 103 was my number. When I divided that number by 10, I will get 10 as the quotient. So let me divide that number 103 and I'm going to divide it by 10. So 10 tens are 100. Remainder I'm getting as 3. That's fine. So the quotient value is nothing but the n value. What is the quotient value? That is 10. So n will be having now 10. So let me check whether that n value is not equal to 0. Yes, n value 10 is not equal to 0. Yes, it is true. Again, I'm getting entry to the while loop and I'm going to increment the count. First it was 1. Now 1 plus 1, it becomes now 2. It tells me that 2 digits are present in the number. Again, I will divide the n by 10. That is 10 divided by 10. You all know that 10 divided by 10, it goes once. So 10 ones are. So the n value is how much? 1 now. So now let me check whether the 1 is not equal to 0. Yes, 1 is not equal to 0. The condition was true. I'll get entry to the while loop. Again, the first statement is to increment the count. The previous value of count was 2. Now it becomes 3. Now n is equals to n divided by 10. What is the n value now? 1. 1 divided by 10. So you know that n is an integer data type. Since it is integer, I should only consider the integral part, not the fractional part. Now let's start the division. When I divided 1 by 10, I know that 10, it will not go with 1. So I'll add 0 and a point, and then I will append a 0 and then I will divide. So it becomes 10 ones are 10. That is 0.1 times. So as I already told, n is a integer data type. I cannot consider the fractional part 0.1. I do consider only the integral part, that is 0. So n now what value it is having? It is storing 0. Now again I'll get back to the loop and check 0 not equal to 0. Is it true? No, it is false. If you check 0 not equal to 0, it is false. Since it is false, will I execute the while loop? No, the condition becomes false. So I'm coming outside the while loop. The control will move outside the while loop, but you have to consider the count. If you see the count, first it was 0, 0 to 1 it incremented, then again 2, then 3. So what it tells the count, it is going to count the number of digits present from the given number. So the last count value was 3. So this I am going to consider and take the logic to the next block. Now the count variable is having the value 3. So taking this to the next block, I have kept here a if block to check whether the entered number from the user is only having three numbers or three digits. So the n value I took here 103, 103. For that, the count in the while loop, I incremented the count variable. So there I got the value, the count value is 3. Now I'm checking with the condition. If the count is equals to 3, yes, the condition is true now. The count variable is holding the value 3 for the number 103. So now I get the entry to the if block because my condition was true. Now when my condition is true, I'll get entry to the if block. So already in the num variable 103 is stored and that is assigned to n as well. Now in the next statement, that is second statement, you can see is duck is one more variable that I have defined with the data type boolean. Here what is boolean? Boolean is one of the data type. We have different data types in Java. There are 7 data types like int, float, double, boolean, long. So short, byte, like this. In that boolean, it is going to give either true or false. And is duck variable I have assigned to boolean. So in the is duck variable, I am storing the value false. Why I am storing the value false means the default value of a boolean is false. So for the variable is duck, since it is a boolean data type, I am storing false. Initially, the default value I have stored, that is false. Now I am going to execute the while loop. Here the main logic starts. So while n not equal to 0, that is whatever the number, it should be not a zero number. It should be greater than 0. So first I'm going to check with that. Already the number I've taken is 103. Since 103 is not equal to 0, it is true. That is 103 not equal to 0. The condition is true. So I'll easily get entry to the while block. Again, I repeat, all these are iteration statements like for, while, do while. If the condition is true, then only you will get entry, except do while. So here I'm using now while. Since the 103 number is not equal to 0, I get entry to the while block. And now I'm going to check the next condition. What is the next condition? If n mod 10 is equal to 0. What is the n value? 103. So 103, I'm dividing it by 10. Mod and division both have only one difference. In mod, we take the remainder as the 0. The percentage symbol n mod 10, that is nothing but the mod symbol. So we take the remainder as the result. But in division, we take, as you already know, quotient as the result. Since now n mod 10 is equals to 0. So what I'm getting n mod 10? I'm getting n mod 10 as 3. Is that 3 is equal to 0? No. So my if condition became false. Since my if condition became false, the control will move outside the if block. Outside the if block, what statement I have? N is equals to n divided by 10. Already the n value 103 I have divided by 10 and the quotient is 10. So what value will be stored in n now? 10. This 10 I'm going to take and iterate back with the while loop. You know that till the while loop becomes false, I have to keep on iterating. So now the next value for n now I got as 10. Now I'll check whether 10 not equal to 0, is it true or false? It's true. 10 is not equal to 0. Since it is true, I'm getting entry to the while block. There I have one more condition if. So I'm going to check the n value, that is 10. 10 mod 10. So 10 divided by 10, I'll do. When I do that, I'm getting 10 ones are 10, so the remainder is 0. Mod means the remainder it should take. So since I'm getting 0 now, go and take the 0 and equate it to the if condition. 0 is equal to 0. Is it true? Yes. Since 0 is equal to 0, this time my if block became true. So I have to get entry to the if block, and the first statement when I execute, I'm going to store the value true to is duck variable. And next one, I'm going to break it. So keep it in mind, when break is executed, break means I have to break the iteration and come outside the block. So now since break is present inside the while block, I'm breaking that iteration. Next n is equals to n by 10. I'm not doing that, and I'm not executing that, and I'm coming outside the while block. When I'm coming outside the while block, make a note that isDuck variable is having true. Check with that. If isDuck is true, yes, isDuck was initially false. Now, since n mod 10 is equals to 0, I got, so I'm going to execute the if block. When I execute the if block, when the isDuck is true, I'll print the output as duck number. What if the n mod 10, when I did, that is 10 mod 10, if I was not getting 0 and I have not executed the if block at all, then definitely the isDuck value will be not having true. That time the else part I have to execute. Else part, when I'm executing, I'll execute it's not a duck number. What if the count was not 3 at all? The count was 4, means the number of digits was 4, 5, like that. Then the if block will not get the entry at all. So I'm going to execute the last else, that is invalid. Now if you observe that the last I have closed the 3 flowering braces. Always make sure that how many number of braces you are opening, it should be equivalent to the number of closing braces. So the last after else which I am closing is nothing but the if block loop, that is if else, that block flower brace I'm closing, the if block I'm closing. The last next is the main method, the starting the method where it starts my execution, that block I'm closing. The last and the final flower brace to close in any program will be class. So once I close that, then my program coding and logic is done. We'll start with the execution. Now the coding part is done, logic is explained. Now let's execute this program in BlueJ software. So let's begin. So already I have downloaded the BlueJ software. I'm just double tapping on it. So you will get the window like this. Click on new class. When you click on new class, you will get a window where you have to give the class name. Already in my program, I have given the class name as duck number. The same name I'm going to specify here. The remaining other type you have like class, abstract, interface, applet, unit test, enum and all. Don't select any of this. Just let it be a default class because I'm creating a class in this BlueJ software. Click on OK and make sure that you follow the rules of an class to give the class name. Already I have explained in the first section of this video. So now you will click on OK button. Once you click on OK button, a class template is created in the BlueJ software. So why it's showing that? Because already I have created a duck number program. Already I have used the same class name. So I'm removing that. So once I removed, now again I'm adding the same steps like adding the class name and selecting the class type as class and clicking OK. So now what you understood, like class name should not be a repetition. If you have given the same class name, no class name is a unique one. You cannot repeat the same class name for 2 or 3 programs. So make sure that always you keep a different class name which always depicts the logic of the program. Yes, I have selected the class type and I'm going to click on OK. Once I click on OK, a class template like a blueprint copy will be created in the BlueJ software. So you can see the lines over there. I'll double tap on it. So once I double tap on it, the class will open and you can see some codes and some statements are written here. Just select all, Control A, you can use as a shortcut key and you can delete entire template. It's not a code, it's just a demo sample how you have to write a program in BlueJ. It's just a class template structure. Now already in the Word file, I have written the BlueJ code, that is the program entire I've written. So I'm just copying the entire program which I've explained. I will copy that and I'll open my duck number in the BlueJ class template and I'm going to paste it. Once I've done my pasting thing, next I'm going to compile it. Compilation is very important. Why? Because I've pasted here twice, so one time I'm removing the program. So compile, when you do, you should get class compiled, no syntax errors. If you get any errors, then you have to get back and correct that syntax error. In Java, we have three types of errors: syntax error, logical error, runtime error. All these three things I'll be explaining in next upcoming videos. Right now, syntax error means whenever you make a mistake, like um, writing a semicolon for a main method, or writing a semicolon for iterative methods, or missing a semicolon, using a keyword as something for the class name. All these things will give you syntax error. Once you clear this, then only you can compile. So I compiled the program. If you just check, so there no syntax error I got. Since I got no syntax error, then I can start my running my code. So to run the code, you can see the duck number. Other programs like OVEL, SDA, num, they are not compiled. So you can see the cross lines over there. Once it is compiled, only two cross lines will come. Right click the mouse button and select the main method. So once you select the main method, the execution window will open. Now they're asking enter a number. Already I've explained this. So now I'm going to give the number as 1409. What I got as invalid. You can check there. Why it was invalid? Because 4-digit number, the first while loop became false. So I am just printing that it is a invalid. When I checked with the first condition itself, it became wrong because it's a 4-digit number. Even though the 0 is present on it, it is not a duck number. Now I am going to give a 3-digit number and it has a 0 in it. Now it is displaying it is a duck number. So I hope this logic is clear to you. Your program is going to check whether the given number from the user is a duck number or not a duck number. So both the scenarios I have shown, taking a non-duck number and also taking a duck number. Yes, so that's all in today's video. I hope the logic, whatever I've explained in a simplified manner, is understandable. And please do subscribe and press the bell button so that my next upcoming videos you're not going to miss. And yes, thank you all who have watched this and who have gained some knowledge in Java to code a program. Yes, thank you all. Lots of love. And do let me know what type of next videos you need, on what logic you need. So I'll try to make videos on such topics. Thank you all. Have a nice day.